Hey guys, welcome back to the Hustlin Horsepower YouTube channel. We're looking for a couple parts for this car. We need one bead lock. One survived the accident with the homegrown Hustler, so a 15x14 Chevy bolt pattern with like a 6.5 inch backspace, something like that. I only need one of them. So if someone out there had an accident and has one good wheel laying around, I'd like to purchase that from you. I'm also looking for big block Chevy intake manifold, regular standard deck, regular intake ports on it. Okay, I want to convert it over to 16 injectors. So for the EFI system for this new the new motor that's going to be going in here when it gets done from the machine shop, once the machine shop gets done with doing the work on it. So the intentions are to get the new motor in this chassis when it gets done. I'll have to assemble it and everything like that, but the machine work is in the process. So I'm trying to get done busting butt on this chassis, try to get it going through. And guys, I incorporated a playlist into the YouTube channel, okay? So you'll be able to see all the build on this car from beginning to end just by watching that playlist, okay? So it'll just go and play the order of the videos. So that should be a little bit more beneficial for some of you guys that are really following along on the build, work on your own projects and stuff like that. So guys, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just a normal guy that's trying to give back a little bit, and hey, it helps us out a little bit too, and it makes me feel good to be able to do my part to help grow the sport. Get people that would not necessarily be able to do this stuff getting to do this stuff. So that stuff is pretty freaking cool to me, and that's got value to myself. So guys, I appreciate everyone that likes and subscribes to the channel, and keep on hustling, guys. Here comes a good overview, talking about certain things, and then like I said, guys, we'll have 3 to 5 videos out a week, and sometimes we'll have 2 videos out in one day because there's gonna be a lot of progress going on in this car. So I just can't condense it all down to one day, like one video, and otherwise you'd be watching the video for an hour. So we're gonna break them up to try 15 to 20 minute videos for you guys, and let me know, give me back some input for you guys, or give me back some input. I appreciate it, guys. Here's the video. Well, guys, I should probably wash my face, but whatever. It's been a minute since I've given you a little bit of an update, but going basically through the same process as a couple other times. Let me change. You know, we're working outside. We're working outside here, so gotta deal with it, right? But welcome back to the Hustlin Horsepower channel. I don't know where this is gonna fall, so you might hear this a couple times in the video, maybe not. Okay, this is day 2 of fabrication. Yeah, day 2, and we got the main cage in it. Okay. And I'm just going to go through here. I'm going to show you a couple things, give you a walk around, okay? This is going to be, I don't know. Like I said earlier in the last video, I think we're going to do build videos and overview videos. Overview videos, I'm basically going to sit here and talk and explain things. And the build videos, you'll see me building, and I'll still throw in some tips and tricks here. But as far as the overview videos, it's going to be for those people that are probably a little bit more detail-oriented, that really want to learn something, okay? There's the entertainment factor, and then there's the learning factor, okay? And unfortunately, I can't do too many, like, learning videos because not enough people appreciate them, or not to say it that way, but not enough people want to learn. That doesn't sound good. But, like, it's the truth, okay? Like, statistics are statistics. It's not just us, it's in a lot of informative videos in YouTube, right? So if I put out a video that is very detail-oriented, the attention span isn't there, and the view time just isn't there. So it actually derates us on the rest of the videos and stuff like that. And then we can't share the Hustlin Horsepower journey with everyone, right? So that's just kind of like the algorithm, okay? I know a couple people that are doing this, that do it kind of like we do it, and they've mention different forms of how to share that stuff, but they're all paid subscriptions, so I'm not exactly sure how I want to go about that, but that might be a deal for the people that really want to learn, because we can't really do a whole lot of build videos on YouTube, otherwise it's going to ruin everything else. It just is what it is, okay? But I'm going to go over here, okay, and I'm going to talk about a joint like this, okay? First, I'll go over here, and I'll show you. Fortunately enough, with my stomach issues, I use a lot of toilet paper, okay? That's what happens when you got holes in your stomach, right? But fortunately enough, we have these guys here, okay? And that guy right here, you go put it on here, and it fits perfect, right? Okay, it's just a toilet paper rail. When I use these a lot, not only going to the bathroom, but I also use these a lot for when I'm making repeatable tubes with notches that are a little bit more complex. Okay, I'll do a video where I show you how to do tube notching and stuff like that. But I literally 99% of the time I use a flap wheel and a portaband bandsaw. Okay, because I'm fairly efficient with those. A lot of times I'll use an 1.5 inch tubing sander as well, drum roll. But those are really hard to get right now. It's very hard to find those. So getting back to this, right? You make your notch, okay, baseline, face line, so on and so forth, make your notch, okay? Then if you got to repeat this, so once I made this bar right here, this notch right here is fairly complicated. Not super complicated, but fairly complicated. You could see that the baseline here, okay, is nice and level with the tube. It is at the same height as this, which means it is 1/3. It is 1/3 over the tubing diameter. So if you split this tube on a lateral motion, 1, 2, 3, right? This tube should encompass 1/3 of the tube for basically as much as it touches, depending on like the radius, right? Because it is a square tube, but you should have about 1/3 of this tube coming into here, okay? And you'll see a lot of people that attach this tube 90% to this tube and 0%, like 10% to this tube. But I try to do it, okay, so that this notch, no matter what the angle is, this tube is hitting this tube and this tube with the same amount of strength, okay? That adds a little bit of stiffness to the chassis, but I also firmly believe that it adds a lot of strength to the chassis, okay? Because this tube is now working on 2 different axes, okay? It's not putting all the force on this bar, and it's not putting all the force on this bar. It's split, okay? So now if this tube was like more down here and barely touching, more of the forces would be going into this bar than this bar, okay? There's you can get really technical with that stuff, but that's that for right now, okay? So when I went to make that other tube, I slide this on there and I mark it, okay? And I know how long this is, and I measure the distance. These tubes are exactly 4 feet long from that point there to that point there. So you just go and trace it out, use some scissors, cut it out, and with a cardboard like toilet paper roll, you could actually sand them up to your profile. And of course, the cardboard's a whole lot softer than the chromoly, so you can actually sand this to a point and basically sand off the edges, right? So you can make your tube fairly nice, right? Then of course you got to make your line on the top so that you know the top is for this notch, okay? But going back into here, okay, this tube right here, as you can see, this notch, right? This notch, here, okay? Oh my God, look at that gap. No, see the gap here, I did that on purpose, okay? Because when I go to drop this bar in, watch, boom. You see that now? Now this tube gets welded 360 degrees, and then this tube can get welded 360 degrees, okay? You see that? That is simply because if you do it in other methods, you can't really fit the puzzle together, okay? Like I said in the last video, this stuff is like a puzzle. If you build it like a puzzle, the weld relieves, you take a lot of stress out of the weld, and it's actually in the puzzle piece itself. There's a reason why you can put a puzzle together, okay? And if you tip it up on side, right? If you built it on like a flat piece of paper or a cardboard or whatever, right? And you grabbed it by the edges, you could hold that puzzle vertically, okay, without gluing it together, okay? That's because they all fit in a way that they're all formed together, okay? Now, those are all basically one-dimensional because a puzzle piece is generally only like yay thick, right? Something like that. So that if you do wiggle it, it will fall apart. But it's the same concept, okay? When you fit them in like a lattice style, or you fit them something like this, okay? Like you fit these in there, right? There's no weld on this, but I could like shake that thing, right? Because it's fit properly, okay? And it's all nested together. So yeah, like that. Ready? Boom, boom, right? That's how it's supposed to fit. So now that weld goes all the way around. It all fits down in there, fits up in there, and around the backside, okay? To do that, this bar got made first, okay? This bar, I made it fit. I marked the height. This is actually the height of the bed here, the top of the bed rails. So this tube will run parallel all the way to the back of the bed. But I marked this at this height, okay? Made this tube to fit here. As you can see, there was a small taper on this. Like you saw in the last video, this bend was 104 degrees. So it's actually a 95 degree bend. So the bottom of this tube is notched a little bit more than the top of this tube. That perfect circle that you see me using, that I made, that is, oh man, I thought it was in my pocket. I'm gonna look real quick. Boom. Prepared. Not really, but hey, that's why we're not gonna be a YouTube superstar. But this perfect circle, okay? I'm gonna explain this a little bit more for you guys. This is a hose clamp, just up, and it's got like a 4-inch bolt, because then I don't have to have tools, okay? I don't like having tools, okay? I don't want to have a nut driver and do that stuff, so I just TIG welded this nut to there. The cool thing about this is it is a 1/2 inch wide, okay? A 1/2 inch wide is 1/3 of the tubing diameter of inch and a half, and it's basically 1/3 of tubing diameter of 1 5/8, okay? So I know if I'm doing a 90-degree bend, I could put this on there, and I could put this on there, right? And I make my 2 lines, the cut line and then the base line. Then I mark top, bottom, left, right, if it's a 90-degree bend, okay? Tapered bends, the ears got to go in different positions and so on and so forth, but that gets into a little bit more complex situations that I'm not going to talk about right now. But this tube right here, okay, it's a 1/2 inch wide. A 1/2 inch wide is 1/3 of the tubing diameter. That is the amount of tube that you need to have fish mouthed over the other piece of tube to have the full strength of it, okay? So as you can see here, like this one here is about 1/3. That one right there is about 1/3. Basically a third, so on and so forth, okay? Basically a third, okay? And basically 1/3, okay? That is because that is just, that's just the strength of it, okay? So I think I'm gonna wrap this video up here, and this will be like maybe the day 2 overview, okay? I'll go and, I didn't film a whole lot today, my bad. Maybe I'll go through and do another overview. Guys, please give me your input, because I'm not good at this YouTube stuff. I'm a worker, but I'd like to share my knowledge to you guys. A lot of the stuff is self-taught, so it is what it is, right? Take it for what it's worth, but yeah, it is what it is. So guys, if you like what you're seeing, like and subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna get a parts list out probably tomorrow. There's some parts that we need for this build, and the only reason that we're able to put this car together is there's a lot of stuff I was able to salvage off of the homegrown Hustler, okay? Don't get me wrong, like that accident like set us back majorly, but there's still, like, all the electronics are savable. At least most of the electronics were. We probably lost a couple $1,000 in electronics, but chassis was junk, but we're gonna have a new one here soon. And then some other stuff was salvageable, okay? Transmission, it needs to get looked at because it got rattled around in there. Motor needs to get looked at. I'm pretty sure something got upset in the transmission. That's why we were having issues in altered intentions. I think just something got upset in the accident. I don't know exactly what. I gotta really probably take it completely apart and really look it over and try to get maybe do some sonic testing or something like that. But for right now, we're working on this chassis. So guys, one thing for sure is I'm looking for a 9.8 deck big block Chevy blower manifold. Ideally something like a Mish or a raised runner blower manifold, okay? Something low profile. This motor, I'd like to do a shorter runner blower manifold that'll convert over to EFI. Or if you guys have a 16 injector 9.8 deck big block Chevy blower manifold, I do run regular conventional exhaust or intake port on the trick flow heads. They're not a spread port Big Chief style head. So a 9.8 deck, like standard style manifold. They're pretty popular. But if I could get a blower manifold, especially one with like a 6-inch long runner, that'd be pretty freaking awesome. So guys, there's also some other parts. I'd like to find one more bead lock, just one. So if you guys have a 15 by 14 bead lock with approximately 6-inch backspacing, something like that, 6.5-inch backspacing, let me know. I really only need one of them, and I really don't care if it matches or not. Like I do, like I'd appreciate it, or I'd like to have all new wheels on this car, but it's simply not in the budget. That's just real life stuff. So after losing 2 cars, like yeah, we can't have frivolous things. It just is what it is. So yeah, this car's gonna be pretty bad, and I appreciate everyone that likes and subscribes. I'm gonna post this video up, and we'll get this out as a recap or overview. So come back later in the day or tomorrow for the actual build. So guys, I appreciate it. Keep on hustling.